This is Helen. Helen's the head of English at a secondary school, and she wants to move up the career ladder to an assistant head position.
I see it as a real opportunity to get some professional feedback about my own strengths and areas for professional development.
In order to identify Helen's weaknesses, we've set up a mock interview for an assistant head position. Helen will be interviewed by this panel. Michelle Joyce is a primary head teacher. Diana Smith is an ex-head with 14 years experience. And Mel Woodcock spent 15 years as a secondary head teacher. The interview will be observed by Gladina McMahon. A life coach will help identify the areas Helen needs to improve on.
I feel quite nervous and a little bit anxious, but obviously controlling the anxiety is a key to being successful.
I'm Michelle Joyce, Chair of Governors. Here's Mel Woodcock, the head teacher.
Hello, it's nice to meet you.
And Diana Smith, who's also a governor.
Well, can we start by asking you to tell us about your critical incident?
The critical incident seems, I suppose, on the face of it, a little abstract in the sense that it's not an emergency. I suppose it's to do with a number of key factors coming together over a lengthy period of time. Just to give you a bit of background about that, we were merging with another school and that school was closing down. There was an opportunity that arose for an assistant head teacher, a post within the school, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I didn't get that job, and I think at the time I didn't really sort of consider the impact that would have on in terms of my sense of myself in that school community, and reflecting and looking at my own teaching and learning career. It's actually not getting the job has been a very positive thing, but it's been quite a painful process to feel that you maybe aren't good enough to have that sort of a position within the school community. After that sort of initial reaction of feeling rejected, I looked for opportunities to turn that around.
So from something that looked initially like a disaster?
Yeah, a personal disaster.
A massive amount of personal development and professional development has come out of that once you came to terms with the fact that that job wasn't for you at that time. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Anybody want
So far, Helen's impressing the panel with her answers.
3 years ago, I won a North West Teacher of the Year award. Also, I was nominated for Cheshire Woman of the Year during that year, and as a result, the school actually was awarded English as a specialism, because I'm the head of English, so the school actually was awarded that. Through the coaching process again, and through having a professional dialogue about what they think their strengths are, perhaps using things like the school improvement plan and the faculty development plan to show that we might have to move in a particular direction, and to share that openly with people and to have a discussion, perhaps in faculty meetings.
Despite her confident demeanour, Helen's actually full of self-doubt, and it begins to creep in halfway through the interview.
Can you tell us, what does good and outstanding teaching and learning look like?
I think it's about inclusivity, and it's about every child matters, but it's not just about children. It's about differentiation as well. It's we're all equal, but when we're all, it's not an equal way of treating people is to recognise their strengths. Narratives and stories to engage students as well is key to it all, and to basically I've got to come to a stop here, sorry.
That's right, don't worry. How would you coach and develop other teachers to make sure that as a school right across we're sort of outstanding in our teaching and learning?
I think all teachers have the ability to be leaders, and it's whether or not you can key into their strengths and their ability to lead on particular topics or particular issues. I think that. Could you just repeat the question for me? Sorry.
It's actually because you answered most of it.
I think there's some things I'd really like to say then. I'm sorry I've lost the focus there.
Yeah, no, don't worry at all.
I know what excellent looks like. I know what outstanding looks like. And I think that knowing that gives me the confidence to be able to coach other people and to enable other people to achieve at the highest level possible for them.
Okay, right, we're pleased to know that's it. Have you got any questions that you'd like to ask us, Helen?
No. I know I'm supposed to have, yes.
Right, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Gosh, I'm sorry, you just must think I'm stupid.
Helen, did you really just tell them that they must think you're an idiot?
Some of my responses lacked clarity and succinctness, and I think that I've still got areas for development in terms of focusing on the question.
So what did you think of Helen?
She's obviously got a very good technical depth to her. Her answers were very good. There was the issue of nerves again, I think, but needlessly on her part, because she was on top of the sort of skills and experience that were required for this post. So
no, I think maybe she's lacking a little bit of self-confidence there.
Yeah.
To be interviewed for a position like this, maybe a dress sense was a little inappropriate. She should have perhaps worn a suit. It didn't set the right impression, so when she started to talk, I was quite impressed. It wasn't what I was expecting just by the image that came through the door.
on a couple of occasions she dried. Oh my goodness, I think I...
Yeah, she didn't find a natural end to it.
But with her skills and her experience, going for that sort of job, she has no need to feel nervous, because there'll be nobody better qualified or with better experience than she's had to deliver on that sort of post.
So it sounds to me like you would have given her the job.
I would have given her a job.
Yes, I would have given her the job.
Helen, hi.
Hello.
How did you think you did in there?
I felt my responses weren't succinct enough, and I needed to home in a little bit more on perhaps giving examples to qualify some of the things that I've been doing. So I don't know really.
Well, if I said to you on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being excellent, where would you rate yourself?
4.
How interesting, we'd give you an 8. You are actually really good. You know your stuff inside out, you've thought it through, you've got a tremendous amount to offer. However, I think you've kind of got it in your head, because you had that previous disappointment, you've kind of built it up into a bigger thing than I think it really is.
On the outside, I think I'm quite a positive person. I think I generate a lot of energy and I'm very enthusiastic. But as a sort of antithesis to that, quite a strong sort of sense of self-doubt, which perhaps impedes the progress that I'm capable of making.
And I guess the other thing is also, Helen, your dress. Because what we thought was that you may have presented yourself a little bit better in a more formal business type suit.
Right.
Okay. Perhaps a more formal one would have given you more authority. So now what we're going to do is to take you, because you're really good, and make what's good even better.
If you look good, you'll feel good. So Gladina's decided to tackle Helen's confidence issues from the outside in by taking her shopping.
Now, Helen, the last time that we met, we talked about you projecting a more professional image. And I have brought the wonderful Colette with me, and she's going to take you inside and completely restyle you. So, ladies, let's go.
Okay.
See you soon. Ah, now that's very nice. It's also very different, and it's kind of very French as well. Now, Helen, that is very, very nice, and it's actually really good to see you in a dress. Now, Helen, you've got your purchases, so we're off to round 2. Makeover. We're going to get you fully made up.
Now, Helen, I want to introduce you to George, because George is an expert when it comes to makeup. But more than that, George is going to help you to consider how to sell a product. So at that point, George, Helen, Helen, George, I'm off and I'll see you later.
The look we're going to do today is going to be a nice natural daytime look for you, but it's also going to give you some confidence in how you look. So I'll talk to you about what I'm doing and explain a few techniques that we use, and feel free to ask me anything as I go along.
Great.
Okay. So I'm just going to start by spritzing the face. If you could just close your eyes for me. This is a moisturising spritz that will help the foundation stay on all day, and at the end of the day it should hopefully still look like you've only just put it on, so it's nice and fresh.
Selling a product, whether it's makeup or yourself, requires technique, so Gladina's hoping Helen will take the sales techniques George is teaching her and use them in interviews to sell herself as a product.
Okay, so when I'm selling these products, I'd always make sure that I'm facing my audience and telling them all about the product itself. So I'll always use a lot of positive language and tell people the benefits of it and how good it can actually make you feel. So do a lot of smiling as well and tell them how much I enjoy the product and how confident I am in it. And once I think people have tried it and seen it, then it pretty much sells itself. So having the confidence to sell it and actually recommend it, because I know about the product and the benefits and the features. You have got quite thick lashes, and it's nice to emphasise those with a good mascara. And again, that opens the eye up straight away, because it's the eyes that the people are going to be focusing on.
I think one of the issues that teachers face quite often is that their interviews can be whole day interviews.
Right.
And obviously, it's good to feel confident enough that once you've done, you've sort of dressed yourself, you don't have to revisit the bathroom sort of thing. And
so that's the finished look then, finished off with a little bit of spritz. I'll take that off for you so you can see of your hair how you normally have it. I'll show you what it looks like.
yeah, it's really natural, it's lovely. Yeah, thank you.
So Helen, you've had the clothes, you've got the face now. Given that when we first met, okay, one of the things we talked about was that you were actually very good. However, you weren't necessarily presenting yourself in the best light. What do you think you've learned from this exercise?
I think it's really important. Preparation is the key to everything, and I think spending more time on the preparation and presenting myself in a way which will ensure that people believe that I can do the job. I know that I can do an assistant head's job or a deputy head's job, and I think it's finishing the package off, really.
Well, I think that's very, very true. It is about then sort of, truly representing that. And maybe also when you were looking at, selling the product, also believing in the product, talking about the product as if, I really am this kind of person. And I think that'll cure some of the nerves that you feel.
Right. I mean, I know that it's good to have pre-interview nerves, but it's not letting them run away with you and you controlling them. So those mechanisms, having those in place, and you've really helped me with that, so that's fantastic. I think Gladina's highlighted the importance of positive self-talk and using that voice in your head to give you confidence. And it's not just a confidence, an internal sort of mental confidence, it's about how you look and how you feel. And the feel-good factor is obviously going to affect your performance and the way that you present yourself. So I think overall it's been a really, really positive experience. Thank you.